We're back, and so is the SM58. Baby needs a binky. I am baby. This is my binky. No, I actually hate when grown adults refer to themselves like that. So let's start over. I'm slow birding. I'm getting better at birding slowly, and these are all the birds that I saw this month. As you may or may not know, it's been about a month since my last video, and no, it didn't take me the whole month to make this video. Instead, we spent time between doctor's appointments and birthdays. I even went on a work trip to North Carolina. But honestly, when I posted my last video, I had no idea if we are going to be able to go birding at all this month. My daughter had gotten injured pretty badly, broke her first bone, and so all bets were off. But a friend of mine, Chris, shout out to you if you're watching, summed up the injury really well. He said something along the lines of like, hopefully it'll be an opportunity for her to show you how strong and resilient that she is. And damn, she did that in spades. She's doing great, and we are so lucky to have a tough little kid like her. Anyway, you're here for the birds, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about them in 4 different categories. Number 1, junk birds, maybe more affectionately referred to as the birds who will outlive us, apocalypse birds. Number 2 are the residents, the birds that live alongside us. Number 3 are cool sightings, which totally subjective. And of course, number 4, lifers. These are the ones that count. Why do this? Well, frankly, making a narrative out of a bunch of disparate micro-birding sightings is really hard to do, and who doesn't like a listicle? So, first up, let's get into junkers. Our junk birds this month included vultures, both turkey and black, house sparrows, grackles, common and great-tailed, American crows, cormorants, neotropic, and double-breasted. I wouldn't previously have described cormorants as junkers, but I've seen some pretty haggardly looking cormorants lately. Then there's also been brown-headed cowbirds, mallards, scoby ducks, which technically I don't think count, red-winged blackbirds, Egyptian geese, and a bunch of doves, namely mourning, white-winged, Eurasian collared, and Inca. Now you can call me a hippy-dippy liberal because, well, guilty most of the time. But I think these traits that make these birds junk birds are actually their superpowers. Their abundance and adaptability mean that these are like Mad Max birds. They'll be feeding on our carcasses and nesting in our homes whenever this whole thing goes tits up and we're out fighting for water and mother's milk, wearing bondage leather and steampunk cars. In the meantime, we have birds living among us that are really cool, but warning, you might still consider some of these junk birds. We've had 4 types of egrets at the retention pond lately: great, snowy, and most recently cattle. The cattle aren't always here year round, so they've been really nice to see. Then there's herons, of which there are 2. Number 1 is my spark bird, the great blue heron, of course. But then, really recently, we've had a green heron at the pond, and that was both a first of year and first time at the pond, so that makes that one maybe a little more exciting than the rest. And rounding out our pond birds are the killdeer. Just zooming around. In my backyard. Yeah, but before we go any further, I gotta stop and do the YouTube thing of asking you to subscribe to the channel. In all seriousness, the subscriber count is the main metric that I'm looking at right now that tells me that I'm doing a good job. Now I should keep going, keep posting, and making these videos. So if you're having fun and you want to stick around, get to know me a little better, see the birds that I see, please hit that subscribe button, and then consider sharing the video with someone that you know that likes birds as well, that you think might like the channel. It would help me out a ton, and I'd really appreciate it. All right, thanks so much. That's all of that. Let's get back to the video. We have a mockingbird holding dominion over the place, scaring away most of the visitors, but even still, there's been several house finches visiting, the occasional cardinal, eastern bluebirds, and if we spread out the radius just a little bit, we've also got blue jays, red-bellied woodpeckers, and robins around the neighborhood as well. But most excitedly and closest to home is right on our front porch, we have a mating pair of barn swallows currently sitting on a brood. In my experience, or at least the conversations I've had with friends, barn swallows are typically thought of as like a nuisance or a pest, since they build a mud nest on your house and poop all over it, even potentially terrorizing you as you walk out your front door. But I think that they are actually pretty good little helpers if you can tolerate living alongside of them. Swallows provide the ecological service of acting as a pest controller. They eat swarming bugs like wasps, flies, moths, grasshoppers, crickets, most of the species that you don't want around your house anyway. So for us, I think this relationship has been mutually beneficial. Am I completely aware of how much work they're doing versus not? No, but I still think it's great. Plus, they're protected by the Migratory Bird Act, so once they lay eggs, you're not supposed to remove the nest until the babies leave. Not that anybody's really enforcing it, but you have a conscience. Use it. From the time that they hatch to the time that they fledge is only like 3-ish weeks. So if they end up on your front porch, just be patient, wait it out. All right, now we're getting into some of the cool sightings and first of years, the good stuff that you're probably here for. Hawks are always cool to see. In the last month, we've seen ospreys, bald eagles, red-tailed hawks. Then there's a few cool, less common birds like scissor-tailed flycatchers and ruby-throated hummingbirds that we spotted a time or two, either here at the house or around the lake beach. But maybe the coolest sighting, short of being a lifer, was on a random rainy April day. We spotted a bird on the ground that we didn't recognize right in our backyard. We looked through the binoculars and my camera that took pictures and stared at the back of the screen confused until I got a tip off from another bird that was sitting nearby. Roughly about 10 feet away, we noticed that there was a white-winged dove, and that was the giveaway. Eventually, the two approached each other and they shared some what felt like really tender moments together. And observing behavior like this definitely deserves a spot in the cool category. Finally, we have our lifers. Cliff swallows were just as abundant as the barn swallows are. Fortunately, they're not on our front porch. They're on a ton of underpasses that we drive under as we go into town and go to the library, different places like that. Mother's Day weekend, we visited a new neighborhood and got some really nice views of a female summer tanager. And also these more challenging views of a brown-headed nuthatch.
Okay, just a second, Becky.
On a work trip to North Carolina, I spotted my first brown thrashers and got some nice pics of this lifer, common yellow throat. Both birds I should have reasonably been able to have seen by now in my home county, since the eastern half of Texas resembles most of eastern North America birding wise. But hey, a win is a win, and I'll be just as happy to see them here once they're on my Texas list. Finally, the undisputed cool lifer sighting was spotting a descent of pileated woodpeckers. Descent is the plural. I looked it up. The kids and I stopped by this very kind woman's garden to buy a hydrangea cutting for my wife's Mother's Day present, and when across the street, I spotted a woodpecker. And I knew it was a woodpecker because pileated woodpeckers look like the most woodpeckery woodpecker you can imagine. Upon further investigation and pulling my camera out, I noticed there was actually 4 of them bopping around and eating. It appeared to me like 2 of them were parents and 2 were juveniles as they crept around looking for food. Again, it's often watching the birds interact with one another and their behavior that I think is truly the interesting part of birding. Of course, it's always nice to see a lifer, but observing their behavior, seeing these adults, maybe teaching the juveniles how to forage for food up and down these trees was awesome. And the fact that they were a lifer is just next level. Well, I think that pretty much covers all the birds I've seen in the last month. Other highlights include shaving my head and trying to grow a beard. Let me know in the comments below what you think. No, actually what I want to know is what birds you've seen lately. Get in the comments to let me know what your latest lifer was, or if there's a special sighting that was emotionally salient for you, kind of like how I described the pileated woodpeckers or the white-winged dove fledgling. I'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.